Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we're doing junk duck nails, and I'm going to be using nail forms again today because I don't have any duck tips and I didn't feel like gluing on coffin tips and stuff. I just don't have any coffin tips that would work. But anyways, duck nails. So I'm starting off by putting the nail form on. And I don't know the right way to put nail forms on. I just do it how I do it. So yeah, I would recommend looking up a tutorial on how to do that, but I just like to put it on like this, and sometimes I'll cut it if it's like overlapping on my nail, like to where it'll be blocking the polygel on my nail. But either way, I have a peel off base coat on, Macart peel off base coat, so I'm not keeping these nails on either way. But anyways, getting into sculpting this nail, I'm going to be doing 3 beads. I'm going to show you how to do 3 beads, 2 beads, and also 1 bead of polygel. So this first bead, I'm going to be doing like kind of like making a tip, but you know, obviously I'm sculpting the shape of the nail. I'm going to be dragging it down all the way to number 10, and I'm patting and smoothing it out and making sure my brush is saturated in alcohol, because otherwise the polygel sticks to the brush really easily. So I'm really making sure that I have my shape nice and straight, and also I'm making sure that I have the polygel covered in all the areas that it really needs to be covered in, because once you take the nail form off, it's just annoying to have to put it back on. So just make sure you get everything exactly how you want it. And this is polygel, so it doesn't cure until you know, cure it in the lamp. So I find acrylic a lot easier to work with on nail forms, to be honest, and polygel, for me at least, polygel is easier to do with tips. So, and people always ask, every time I see people do polygel, people always ask, is acrylic or polygel easier? Honestly, they can't answer that for you, because you have to try it for yourself to see what's easier for you. It's always going to be up to personal preference what's easier when it comes to doing nails or anything. You have to try it out for yourself. So honestly, the only answer I could give is that polygel, well, the only thing that I could tell y'all is that polygel is it doesn't cure, you know, while you're working with it, so you have plenty of time to work with it. The downside of that is that it does run sometimes, like it can be runny and annoying to clean up, but that depends on the brand that you're working with. And polygels are different. You have to try different brands of acrylics and monomers, different brands of polygel, to figure out really what you like the best. And so far my experience is that polygel overall, I think I like working with. I don't think I like working with them more than I like working with acrylic. It's just a lot easier, in my opinion, for me. Just because, like I said, you can have plenty of time to work with it and get your shape how you want it. But I do like with acrylic that it does set, so that when I'm making a shape, say like I'm making a shape on a nail form, I don't have to like keep manipulating it if it does run, or if it does, if it is lumpy and bumpy, other parts of it won't move. I don't know, but it's just for me, it's just better to work with on a form with acrylic. But with tips, I think polygel is a lot easier than acrylic, but still, the level that I'm at right now with acrylic, I still find acrylic more fun to work with than polygel. So if your first layer, your first bead is thick enough, then you should be able to take off the nail form. But if not, just leave it on, because you don't want these to crack or break during the process. So my next bead I'm placing near the cuticle, but further away that it's not a cuticle bead. and then I'm just patting it down and smoothing it down. And this thumb application was bumpier than I wanted it to be, but for the next nail, it was probably my smoothest application for a long polygel nail, and it came out really nice. Another thing I like about polygel more than acrylic is that, well, I don't even know if I listen to anything that I like more about polygel, but I do like the fact that, honestly, I lost my train of thought for like a good 2 minutes, but it was the fact that they are a lot easier to file than acrylic is, and that does depend on the acrylic you're using, of course, but polygel will always be easy to file because it's gel and it's just softer than acrylic is. I have worn polygel nails, but I didn't take them off properly. I kind of ripped them off, but I've never worn them like and tried to take them off properly. But I don't know if this Rosalind polygel is soak off or not. If it's not, then that's something that I wouldn't like about polygel, because soaking off the nails is probably the easiest and like safest way to take them off. I don't like filing them. That's just a no for me, unless underneath I have like a thick rubber base on. That would probably be better for if I wasn't gonna soak them off. But yeah, just keep that in mind, I guess, when you're buying polygel. Buy some soak off polygel. This one probably is, I'll have to check, but I'm not sure. So for the last bead, I felt like there was a little bit of area that I had to cover that I had messed up on the rest of the nail, but this is like the last, cuticle bead. And so I'm placing it, slightly near the cuticle. I'm gonna push it back and leave it there just like you would with acrylic, where you would place your cuticle bead right there next to the cuticle and push it back and let it flow into that cuticle area, rather than, trying to make it seamless with your brush.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Be sure to check for flooding in your nails. Anywhere that can touch your skin, make sure you have that lifted off of your nail before you cure. I can't stand those videos where people are like, you know, doing gel X method and like they put the tip on and it spills out and they still cure it and just fall it off. I don't think it's okay to cure gel on your skin, like at all. Like, even if you're gonna file it off, just try to avoid getting it on your skin in any circumstance. So for the 2-bead method, I'm going to start off the exact same way I did on my thumb, by making sort of like, you know, a tip, sculpting a tip out in duck shape. And I did use a slightly bigger bead because we're doing 2-bead method. So I'm keeping most of the polygel towards the apex area, which the apex area is where your nail, your natural nail, and whatever product you're using or the tip meet. So basically right there where I place the polygel at is where the apex area is going to be. So that's where I'm going to try to keep most of the polygel at. And as you can see, I'm dragging it down and trying to get the length before I push it all back up into that cuticle area to make sure, not cuticle area, but the apex area, to make sure that that apex area is the thickest area of the nail. That's going to be your thickest area. The thinnest area should be your free edge. It shouldn't be too thin because it will chip. And then like the second thickest area is going to be your cuticle area. So as you can see, I'm pushing the polygel up right there, and then I'm bringing the rest down and making sure that it's covering every area of the nail that I need to add thickness to, and patting it around to do that. And then once I get it like patted where I want it, I usually smooth it down. And then like I said, I'm keeping most of the polygel in that apex area. And I'm really making sure that I do not have any polygel on my skin before I go ahead and do a full cure in my lamp. So for the one bead method, I'm taking a very ginormous bead and I'm just gonna place it just right there, like next to my cuticle, because we're gonna do this in one bead. So I'm getting the cuticle area done first. So what I'm going to start off doing is pushing the polygel up towards my cuticle, just like with the other nails. Not directly on my cuticle and not too close. Since we are doing the one bead method, the polygel is going to settle and kind of get, self-level a little bit while I'm doing the rest of the nails. So I'm just making sure I don't put it too close to my cuticle area, because otherwise it will flood it. So now I'm dragging the rest down and I'm keeping most of it in the apex area, like always. And I'm dragging it down to the length I want and forming my shape just like I did for the rest of the nails. So now that that's finished, I cured them all for like 120 seconds again, just to make sure. And then I wiped them all off with alcohol, because otherwise you're gonna get sticky, gunky layer of that sticky layer of polygel in your e-file or your nail file. But make sure you wipe the underneath and on top of the nail. because both sides are sticky when you're using a nail form. But now I'm sealing the cuticle and debulking areas that I feel is necessary to debulk. And I'm also going on the free edge and debulking it on this nail specifically, because I think this was the only one with like super thick free edge. But yeah, just in case you have a thick free edge, use your e-file. I feel like it's a lot easier than just using your hand file. And if you don't have an e-file, it's fine. Like, you don't need one. Just like, I would recommend spend extra time really carefully make sure your application is smooth, and you should do that anyways, regardless, but especially if you don't have an e-file, because it'll just make it a lot easier to file. But also I'm going to be, shaping that, making the duck shape kind of like a crescent moon, like at the free edge. I don't know how to say it for real, but it's kind of like a moon shape at my free edge. So yeah. And for my hand file, I'm straightening the side walls underneath and on top, and then going over the whole body of the nail until it's completely smooth. So I'm wiping my nails with alcohol, and then I'm going to put one thin coat of Madam Glam RGB color on my nails. You could do this or use a matte top coat. Either way, before you paint your French tips, you're gonna want to have something to cover up the scratches on your nail first before you try to do any nail art or French tips. So now I'm going in and doing a French tip, and I start off with marking how long I want it to be, I guess, and then I just go ahead and draw the sides of the smile line, bring that all together, and then fill it in. I'm doing 3 coats because I don't know what was up with this polish, but it needed 3 coats. I saw this design on Instagram recently with the double, I don't know what it's called. I'm not even gonna try to name it. But basically, I'm putting a line in the same shape as my French tip, going along my French tip underneath it. And I don't know what this design is called, but I like it a lot. And I've done it before, and I wanted to do it again. So I finished all of my nails doing that same design, and now it's time for bling. So these are junk nails, and we're finally at the junk nail part. I know it took a while, 26 minutes to be exact, but I'm gonna let this part play out because honestly it's just satisfying to watch all these charms being placed, and I don't want to ruin it by talking, so enjoy. So finally we are done, and this is how they turned out. I loved how these turned out. Doing them was fun. The end result is fun. They are so cute. They're like the perfect junk nails and I've been wanting to do junk nails for a while. I just been a little bit afraid because I don't know why, but I wanted to do junk thug nails and I did. So let me know what y'all think of these nails below. They remind me of back when I was doing junk nails all the time. Like I used to do them constantly. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. I love how they turned out. Leave a comment Make sure to subscribe for more nail content, and be sure to like this video so that I can know what y'all want to see. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.